You've undoubtedly heard colleagues and coworkers talk about the cloud, such as cloud storage or cloud services, but are unsure what it is. Well, you come to the right place to learn more about the cloud. Here we will explain cloud computing, how it works, and why businesses use it. So, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing stores and executes the applications and data on remotely located infrastructure instead of your local computer. The data and applications are accessed via the internet. This infrastructure can be located with a service provider referred to as off-site, or the organization using it referred to as on-site. So, what does the cloud look like? Well, to put it simply, the cloud is a large facility known as a data center filled with advanced computers called servers. Data centers are vast with rows and rows of servers stacked in cabinets. These servers are networked and fulfill various functions such as executing applications, data storage and processing, and web hosting, all accessible via the internet. So, what advantages does cloud computing offer businesses? Well, by removing the workload from a local machine to a remote data center allows computer processing power, storage, and memory requirements to be packaged as a service. For example, before cloud computing, if you wanted to use email at the office, you would have to have your own physical email server. You would have to buy a physical server, an operating system, and email software such as Microsoft Exchange. You would also need to consider and plan for cabling, power, and cooling requirements for the physical server and budget for any hardware upgrades. If email was crucial to your business operations, you would also need to arrange backup services and possible redundant servers for business continuity. After some configuration and settings, you would be able to use email. This email system will need to be maintained regularly and any issues resolved to keep the email service operational. In cloud computing, you effectively outsource your computing processing, hardware, storage requirements, and maintenance to a third party, in this case, a cloud service provider. This approach offers several advantages to businesses and organizations. The primary advantage is cost. By using cloud services, a business avoids many of the costs associated with purchasing hardware, software, power, and cooling. They also avoid costs associated with maintaining the infrastructure, making cloud computing extremely cost-effective. Reliability is another advantage offered by cloud computing since cloud service providers will take care of any data backup and disaster recovery requirements. In addition, cloud service providers will typically have multiple interconnected servers at many data center locations. Consequently, in case of hardware failure or even data center failure, they can quickly and often seamlessly switch services to another server or even site. Since cloud service providers have multiple servers at several data center locations, they are able to scale their services in accordance with customer demand. Cloud services are often offered as a pay-as-you-go model, meaning business customers will only pay for what they use. Consequently, businesses can increase their computer processing power, storage, and hardware as their business grows. And if your business no longer requires as many servers as initially envisaged, you can immediately reduce your rental to a couple of servers. Cloud services are offered in three distinct forms to businesses today. These are infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, platform as a service, or PAAS, and software as a service, SaaS. Each of these services differs in terms of control and flexibility, allowing the customer to choose an option that best meets their business demands. Let's take a look at each of these further. Infrastructure as a service, as the name suggests, is where the cloud provider is only responsible for the hardware, including the server's storage, virtualization, and networking interfaces. In contrast, business customers will retain control over the software, including the application's data, operating system, middleware, and runtime. IaaS is akin to buying a bare-bones system or a laptop with no operating system or software. Platform as a service gives the cloud services provider greater management responsibility since it maintains the hardware, such as servers, storage, networking, and the operating system, runtime, and middleware. Businesses are solely accountable for apps and data. The last type is software as a service, commonly referred to as SaaS. This is the most prevalent cloud service today. In SaaS, the cloud provider is responsible for the application and underlying hardware and related infrastructure. There is no software to download, and the only requirement is to have a device with an internet connection. Since the cloud provider handles all of your computer's hardware, software, networking, and operating system, SaaS services are often specific applications or a suite of applications. An example of SaaS is Google Docs. Google Docs is a free online office suite that can be accessed via a web browser and does not need the installation of any other software on your computer. Leveraging the cloud for business involves using one of three cloud deployment models, namely public, private, or hybrid. Each of these models have a specific configuration of environment parameters, such as accessibility, the exclusiveness of the infrastructure, storage size, value proposition, and costs associated with it. These models are defined according to where the infrastructure for the deployment resides and who controls that infrastructure. Each of these cloud deployment models satisfy varying organizational needs, so it's vital that a model is selected that will fulfill an organization's demands. In any case, to make an informed decision, businesses need to be aware of the characteristics of each environment. Let's take a look at these models in more detail. Public cloud. In a public cloud, data is created and stored on third-party servers. Server infrastructure is managed and administered by the service provider, who typically pool resources, removing the need for customers to buy and maintain their own hardware. Customers can scale resources as required. Cloud service providers offer resources as a service both free of charge or on a pay-per-use basis via the internet. The systems and services used in this model are more easily accessible by the users and is the first choice for businesses with low privacy concerns. The public cloud model offers businesses hassle-free infrastructure management, high scalability, reduced costs, and 24/7 uptime. However, these come at the cost of privacy concerns and lack of a tailored service, with service providers offering a standardized service, which may often fail to satisfy more complex requirements. Private cloud. Whilst technically similar to a public cloud, refers to the systems and services being used by a specific company. Private cloud infrastructures are maintained on a designated private network and use software and hardware that are used exclusively by the owner company. This model provides more control over the company's data and its management, and provides wider opportunities for customizing the infrastructure to the company's demands. In addition to high security, privacy, and reliability, the private cloud model offers bespoke and flexible development and high scalability, and is particularly suitable for businesses seeking to safeguard their mission-critical operations. However, the major disadvantage of private cloud is its cost, since it requires considerable expense on hardware, software, and staff training. Hybrid cloud. A hybrid cloud model allows businesses to mix and match aspects of private and public cloud models into a singular model. Typically, when using the hybrid cloud model, a business can operate its mission-critical workloads on a secure private cloud whilst deploying less sensitive ones to the public cloud. The hybrid cloud deployment model safeguards and controls strategically important assets in a cost and resource-effective way. When it comes to cloud service providers, the market leaders are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Alibaba Cloud, and IBM. Other cloud providers include Salesforce, Dell, and Red Hat. Many public cloud service providers also provide private cloud solutions. Deciding which deployment model to select is one of the most crucial cloud deployment decisions a business will make. To choose the right model for a business, computing, networking, and storage requirements, as well as available resources and business goals, need to be considered. In many cases, the choice of a cloud deployment model may simply come down to money. Most businesses will opt for a hybrid cloud model by locating mission-critical servers in a secure private cloud and deploying less sensitive workloads to the public cloud. A hybrid cloud deployment model not only safeguards and controls a business's strategically important assets, but does so in a cost and resource-effective way. To learn more about cloud computing, follow the link below or subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.